every penny, every dollar, every euro that's spent on weapons isn't being spent in schools or on homes or on jobs. So it's a zero-sum game. If they spend it on this, they're not spending it on that. And the importance of the Trump decision is that this lifts this from being a European issue to being a global issue. When the President of the United States makes a 50% increase in an already absolutely huge military budget, and you've got to remember that the United States spends more on weapons than the next 10 biggest arms spenders all put together. So this is a global rearmament program. It's a program which will make the American military, in Donald Trump's words, a dream military. Now, when Donald Trump is dreaming, the rest of us are having nightmares. Well, this will be absolutely disastrous because nobody thinks that the peace in Ukraine will actually end the conflict. So they are going to be directly in harm's way. Keir Starmer and his fellow European leaders are going to be sending young people into harm's way. They will come back, as they did from Afghanistan, as they did from Iraq, either in body bags or injured or with PTSD, and there will be parents and families throughout Europe grieving that they allowed their leaders to make a decision like that. Not only will it cost them their lives and their livelihood, it's going to cost them their hospitals, their schools, their houses as well. Well, the military intervention in Venezuela was an absolutely egregious breach of international law. There was absolutely no justification for kidnapping, and that's what it is, kidnapping a sovereign head of state. But it's even worse than that, because we saw immediately that the after effects of this were that Trump pursued and boarded a Russian-flagged tanker in the North Atlantic, bringing to the point of a maritime conflict the relationship between Russia and the UK, because the UK helped Trump in that seizure of the tanker, and Russia on the other hand. It also encouraged Trump, because he's now making claims about military intervention in Greenland, which is part of Denmark, which is therefore a conflict between different NATO members. It really doesn't get much more serious than this. The next step is London. We've booked Central Hall, Westminster, right in the heart of London, directly opposite the British House of Commons. There's capacity for thousands of delegates from across Europe and from the trade union and labour movements across Europe to come together to say that the people of Europe want peace. The people of Europe don't want war, they don't want rearmament, they don't want conscription, they want houses, they want jobs, they want education, they want a decent health service. The world that the ordinary people of Europe want is now the polar opposite of the world that their leaders are going to deliver for them. And so it's up to us to reshape the direction of history. We don't want to be a generation that took the world to war again. We want to be the generation that saved the peace.